confident about you. You already have an office. Did you read the article that I sent you about the fraud about the professor from
Yes, it's disappointing.
Yes, and I wanted to do the same thing, but I don't want to fall in. The Miami is full of fraudsters, and that specific fraudster was sitting on the board of directors somehow, or the advisory committee, and he duped this couple of professors, and now they are involved in the lawsuit as co-conspirators. They may not have understood what they were doing.
Is this a civil case or criminal?
It's not clear, but it is this, with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
And it's also with the U.S. District Attorney.
Yes, and with the U.S. District Attorney, the investors from Switzerland and other places around the world that have sued them, and once they figured out that they related to the University of Miami, it is not clear that they wouldn't try to go for the big pockets.
Yeah, that's what they do usually. If the attorney gets a whiff of that, he surely will.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that we don't get into this trap and we make everything clear, but in the same time, set you apart from all this oil snakes and all the other fraudsters in Miami. Between Miami and offshore companies in Colombia, the reputation is quite clear.
Actually, we are making a move. I've got a new partner based in Zug, Switzerland, and we're going to move everything to Switzerland. Actually, they call that the Valley of Crypto over there. So a lot of credibility, a lot of nice, clean hedge funds, and just made a decision to move corporate headquarters there.
Did you hear about Miami getting the stadium to be sponsored by the cryptocurrency exchange?
No. I do know that the city Miami's very actively in Bitcoin.
Yeah, but officially, it used to be named the American Airline Arena. It's a huge,
you're talking about the basketball
yes.
venue.
It's a huge complex, and American Airline had financial problems. So the mayor is negotiating with Coinbase or one of those crypto exchanges to rename it the cryptocurrency.
Wow, interesting.
Which will bring a lot of money. Anyways, Everybody in Miami is connected to this cryptocurrency one way or another.
Yeah, I just read that there was somebody that they were holding a Dutch auction. He has I don't know if it's a property, business property, or restaurant, something like that. The asking price was like $15 million, and he wants to get paid in Bitcoin. So it's happening.
And we are working with the city of Coral Gables to do a seminar series for the businesses here to make sure that they stay in business, because if they go out of business, they cannot pay taxes to the city of Coral Gables that will also be in financial trouble. And we are trying to convince them to make the city a cryptocurrency center for Latin America and the Caribbean. And so the city of Coral Gables is watching what the city of Miami is doing. And if that will become popular enough, it is going to be replicated in the city of Coral Gables. In advance of that, if we can incorporate you with your trading strategies, especially when it comes to what we are teaching in the classroom, which is Ninja Trader, and even Coinbase. I don't know if you are aware of it.
Sure. Yeah,
are you using Coinbase for your data?
Well, it's one of the feeds by both TradeStation and Ninja Trader. So it's live, which is nice. It's not the Bitcoin futures, but it's the Bitcoin Cash.
That's right, but it is Bitcoin.
Correct.
And the reason that I like it so much because it is all free, even minute data. And so the students, you don't have to worry about.
I try to retrieve some of the data. I mean, it doesn't go back too far, does it? I think it goes back to 2017, or you get more than that.
So anyways, there are a lot of.
He asked a question. Did
I
it go
di-
back further than 2017?
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I used it myself 2017, but I didn't go back further than that.
Yeah, we want to see that because it would be nice to have the entire data series, which I think you can go back to 2011 on some other exchanges. I'm not sure on Coinbase via the Ninja Trader
Okay,
platform.
since we are running out of time,
Okay.
Let's do this, Jaime. First, we know what we're gonna present. We'll present, let me just, how did you put your mic on?
yes. And in the meantime, you can learn something too. And in the future, you can check it out and see if it is relevant to you.
Okay, Jaime, we know what we're gonna present. So what I'd like you to do, since we're in time way, is I'd like you to present what I think, Avi, do you want him to do on Bitcoin and USD? What did you want him to
I
present?
think for the purpose of this, by the way, it is called IT Palooza 3D.
Okay,
And we are going to do the section about AI and machine learning.
Okay.
So if you have any facets of AI and machine learning, it will fit better in that presentation.
so do you have something? So
Sure.
you have
Well,
something?
all of this is AI, machine learning algorithms that fuel the actual buy and sell signals. I'll give you a little background on both Bitcoin and Bitcoin futures that was launched in 2017, the differences between both, and why one should be wary of the Bitcoin that's traded outside the U.S. versus the regulated market. I think that's significant.
And how is it AI and machine learning? What aspects of it would you characterize it as artificial intelligence and machine learning?
Well, the algorithms are fueled by formulas that continuously scan and look at the markets for any changes, and it automatically adapts to the algorithm. So in my case specifically, I deal with the time axis as opposed to the price axis. When you look at a chart, you'll see two axes. On the right, you'll see price, the price of Bitcoin, the price of gold, the price of the euro, the price of Tesla. On the bottom, you see a date. And 90% of all traders, developers, investors, large or small, corporate treasurers, they're focused on the price axis, and I think that's flawed. You know, they're both way 50%. Time and price are both squared to arrive at valid buy signals, and I just think that it's just a mistake to just only concentrate on one of them. You know, you have two axes for a reason, and they both have to be incorporated. So my work is primarily on time, hence the name clockwork, and then price is as a secondary component. But so the dates that we look at and the machine learning algorithms seem to scan and go back over time and improve upon themselves by hitting on these certain time windows.
Okay. So how often does it improve those systems?
It's probably every month.
The strategy stays, what is machine learning about? Because my understanding of machine learning is that when you give it certain parameters and hypothesis, you train it, and then it takes over.
Correct.
Right.
It takes over and replaces the variables that we had locked in. So they change when they need to be changed, which is not really too often, but there are some adjustments that are made, that are learned by the machine.
Okay, but will we be able to? We won't be able to see any of that because it's a black box. I understand. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Avi, where do you want to proceed with this? Okay, Jaime.
When you are done, I will come in if you need my help.
Okay, all right. So Jaime, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start the recording, okay, as if I'm gonna stop the recording, then I'm gonna do the recording, Jaime, and then we have 15 minutes. I'll do a brief introduction. Are you ready, Jaime?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, you can, when I have your screen when I have you share your screen, you'll have it available when
Yes.
you
Yes, I
have
do.
exactly what you want to show.
Yes.
So I'll give you some time. Let's say I'll give you, how much time do you need?
5, 6 minutes.
Okay, so I'll give you 5, 6 minutes. I'll ask you some questions. You'll introduce yourself. Do you have a slide about yourself at all?
No.
Do you have something that you can show where people would have any questions about you or anything that they can contact?
If they want to buy your strategies, that they can find it.
Where they can find it, or do you have somewhere that you can go to?
Like the
They can
website?
find it, or they can contact you?
Can I just highlight the website, or is that enough?
Yeah, that'll be good. At least that, and maybe in the website where they can contact you.
On the website, you have a phone number.
You have a phone number somewhere?
Yeah, that's all on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
And
you
let
can
me get,
start by going to the
let me get a
website.
screenshot here of this.
Yeah, take a
Okay.
screenshot.
I don't know how to do that well. Stand by.
Yeah.
Okay, got that done there. And then let me see. That's the logo, and the screenshot is here. Okay. Okay. I've got something to show.
Okay, so you have something to, so you have something to show,
Describe it at the beginning.
and then we can describe it, and you can describe it in the beginning of who you are, just introducing yourself, who you are, and then we can talk about where I'm bringing you in as a trader. Anything else, Jaime? And then you can show your systems, and then we'll do it once you present it. We'll have a little conversation, and then I'll show an example of algorithms and machine learning, and what, for instance, the future is something like Ninja Trader, and then we'll sum it up. So we'll have a recording, and then I'll try to submit it to IT Palooza. And then
Okay, let me just grab a little background thing that I have here.
Yeah.
So I can.
Because in case people are interested, perchance they see it and they say, "Oh, how can I get in touch with these folks?" You know.
Okay, stand by. I might want to send this to you. Let's see.
You want to send it
Where?
to me?
Yeah. Where is the?
Why do you want to send it to me?
I just want to send you a little blip here on the chat, so you just have it here handy. Okay.
Oh, you have that, but you know what? Just go ahead and instead, Jaime, I'll just introduce you from Clockwork Groups, and you can say all that. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. you can take, don't do a lot, you know what I mean, Jaime? It's good to have, but what I'd like to do is have you speak that somebody can then basically see what you're about, and if they are interested in strategies, there's some place where they can find you. That's my main key here. Okay,
Yeah.
are you ready, Jaime?
U.S. equities. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so I'm going to stop my Loom and I'm going to start a new session of Loom.
Yes, describe it to me so I can do the same thing.
I'm going to continue just with my YouTube live. I'm going to continue just having it done. Or do you think, Avi, I should do a new Zoom recording?
Yeah, you should do a new, not Zoom recording, Zoom recording too, Zoom and Loom and whatever else.
Okay, so I'm going to stop
You never
recording.
know what will work and what won't.
Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. Hold on.
So another thing, what we are doing in the meantime, while Sarah is,
No, I'm ready to
you are
go.
ready? Okay,
Yeah, okay.
so I'll let you continue.
Yeah, so Mike, Mike, stop your mic, Avi. Okay, so we don't have feedback. All right. So let me do the Loom. Stop recording of the Loom.
You're not ready. Let me talk in the meantime while you are messing with your technology, which they're not interested in. This is about trading.
No, but I'm gonna start no, we're not recording yet.
Doesn't matter, but in the meantime, I can talk to Jaime and we can
Yeah,
discuss
okay.
our strategy as far as reducing his customer acquisition and getting the community revved up about what you are doing and building up their trust in you, that they don't feel that you are coming to steal their money like most of the fraudsters all over Miami. You know what I mean? Because people don't know and they're already scared. This is why we are focusing on, we are teaching them the simulation so they don't have to worry about losing money right away.
Listen, it's a rough industry. There's just a lot of people say that they have something that works and it doesn't work, and they want your money first. It's just horror stories, really.
All right. So I'm gonna start my recording on the cloud. I'm gonna start my Loom. Okay, so we're starting the recording. This is Dr. Sarah Rushnick at the University of Miami. I also have with me Dr. Avi Rushnick, also a professor at the University of Miami. And we have a guest joining us, Jaime Marks, who is with Clockwork Groups, and I'll have him introduce himself in more detail in a moment. But let me just share my screen. And let me just do my slideshow and from the beginning right here. And we're going to be speaking today about AI and machine learning applications. Again, I'm Sarah Rushnick from the University of Miami. I'm a professor of business technology, and I have with me Avi Rushnick, who's a professor in the School of Business as well. And what we wanted to talk about is automated algorithmic artificial intelligence and machine learning software, the way to training systems with what they call robots and robotic processing automation. We're in academia, and what we always want to look at are the applications using big data. And what's a better application for big data is trading. Many of you have heard about trading with equities. You've heard about the many instances that the market was supposed to be going down or short, and we had things like GameStop happening where a group of investors were going against those that were shorting the trade. And we're thinking about the idea of mock trading and simulations. We're doing it at the university, and what we're trying to do is bring in traders in the trenches to talk about that. So we've talked about the idea of the basics of algorithmic trading, where we have an algorithm that's a set of clearly defined instructions, and automated trading, that process of using computers that can follow a defined set of instructions. And our goal then in our trade is to generate profit. And what I've invited tonight is Jamie Marks. And what I wanted him to do was to showcase his trading strategies. And once he's shown that, I'll show you some of the beta systems that platforms are using for artificial intelligence trading. And Jamie, would you like to introduce yourself, and then you can show your screen?
Sure.
Share your screen.
Sure,
And thanks for coming by to talk with us this evening.
Okay, stand by. I will. Are we sharing yet or not yet?
Yes, we are sharing it.
Okay.
And we'll mute our mics, both of us, so we don't have the echo.
Okay, my name is Jamie Marks. I'm the CTO and Senior Portfolio Manager for Pocket Group. We're a financial technology firm focused on developing market timing trading solutions and software for the futures, ETFs, Forex, cryptocurrencies, and US equity. For the last 12, 13 years, we've been top rated developer by Futures Truth Magazine. They're the leading authority on testing software like our products. And we've been top rated for different models, everything from high frequency trading into the cryptocurrencies, exchange traded funds, US securities, and Forex, like I just said. I will pretty much be focusing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had a secular run. We've been involved in Bitcoin since, well below $1,000, and we got up to 60,000. And we're currently back in the high 50s, 58,750 last trading now, up at 2% on the day. Bitcoin is an animal, really. It's really changed the way most of investors are thinking because of the wealth creation, and has propelled it to the limelight. And there's Bitcoin futures contract that was introduced in 2017 by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That is the world's oldest derivatives exchange, been around since the 1800s. It's different than the Bitcoin that's traded on platforms such as Bitstamp, Coinbase, Kraken, Bitfinex, and Gemini. And the difference is that it's regulated. Bitcoin futures are regulated in the United States. We now have Bitcoin traded on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's also traded on the Intercontinental Commodity Exchange, which is the ICE, the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. And those are the two contracts. One calls for 1 Bitcoin contract, the other one calls for 5 Bitcoin contracts. The margin on those have escalated over the last 24 months, where you can control 5 Bitcoins for approximately $116,000 in margin today, and 1 Bitcoin for approximately $20,000, which makes up about somewhere between 35 and 40% margin requirements, as opposed to most traditional futures contracts, which enjoy margins somewhere between 3 and 10%. So it's pretty high. A lot of the brokerage firms, such as TD Ameritrade, require high margin because of the volatility involved in the market. And Ethereum was just launched approximately 2 weeks ago on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It calls for 50 Ethereum coins, and that has a margin of approximately $44,000 today, representing almost 50% margin. So margins on the futures boards are pretty steep. The difference is that trading the Bitcoin spot versus the futures, it's a very easy, seamless start to trading Bitcoin. Because you have the regulatory oversight by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, it's actually an institutional product that's being available to the qualified eligible participants, or QEPs, because they're not really interested in going offshore and trading on exchanges that have only been around 6, 7, or 8, 9 years. So the biggest participants in the Bitcoin future space are institutional investors, such as California Teachers and other corporate entities. I'm going to walk you through a series of algorithms that we've created for Bitcoin. I'm not sure which screen I'm on, but this is probably one of them here. Let me just roll this down. Okay. So we basically are following a system that are based on a series of different momentum indicators, as well as time formulas, hence the name clockwork. There are 2 axes on the chart. One on the right side is price, on the left side is, on the bottom is time. We square both price and time to arrive at cleaner buy signals and sell signals than most of my competition. Here's a system that's trading the Bitcoin, and we're following it in different wave structures, but the last signal was on or about February 8th at approximately 40,127, and the market has just been climbing up, and we are above the linear regression. And over the last 52 weeks, we think that market is still short of making new highs, but like nothing goes straight up or down. Let me get something a little closer to what the doctors at the University of Miami and I have been associated with, which is the Ninja Trader platform. Stand by, let me get that. Share screen has to. I'm a little slow on this. Okay, I stop this share. And we're going to go to this share, which would be this Ninja. Can you see that, Doctor?
We're waiting. We see that you're going to be sharing something. Yes, I see it very clearly.
Okay, so this is now
Ninja. See it clearer too, Jaime.
I'm sorry? Okay, so there are preferred platforms, and we trade on TradeStation multi-charts, and this one would be the Ninja Trader 8 platform. This is a linear regression model. You will get a crossover here, which will line up with the buy signal here. We exit one contract here, and we leg out of the other one here. The market then reverses to a sell signal. We exit one here, the market goes down here, and we exit the next one here, and it's back to buy signal on these crosses, and so forth and so on. We follow the market, And the last signal that we've had on this model is down in here where we bought the Bitcoin very close to 40,000 again, and it's still running, and we have not exited this signal yet. So this is the kind of algorithms that we have in place for Bitcoin. I'm going to switch back to the trade station where I have additional algorithms. Here's another series. Okay, share this again. Okay, this is now trading the Bitcoin futures contract. And I'm sorry, this is the Bitcoin cash. The Bitcoin futures is, I don't know, can you see this screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so this would be a spreads where it takes the two contracts. We're trading Litecoin against Bitcoin on a spread, and right now the Litecoin's on a buy signal. The Bitcoin futures is neutral. Bitcoin Cash is in a buy signal versus Bitcoin, and Ethereum is on a buy signal versus Bitcoin. So we spread trade one against the other, and the formulas amount to a difference in price between one and the other, and allows us to enter the market with minimal risk as far as trading an outright position, which would be riskier.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Jaime. You hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Good. So your strategy remains intact for what period of time?
The window gestation period is approximately low side 9 days, 8 days, high side approximately 3.5 weeks between
Meaning
different
that
signals.
that you're in that signal, right?
Correct. Yes. Now we have intraday systems, a day trading system, which I'll show you what a day trading setup would look. This is big. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So this would be Bitcoin today, Bitcoin futures on the CME, where we buy on the. I've got to hide this. We buy on the blue line. We're getting out at the yellow line, and we're selling short on the red line. In this case, this morning, the first trade bought two contracts, legged out of one on the yellow line, and we went to the other extreme, took out there, and we went short. And then we were stopped out on the close here. So that this is the day trade model that is in the market and out of the market in the same day.
But my question,
yeah.
But my question is, Jaime, how long does your strategy is good? Is it good for a month? Is it good for, then you're gonna have to go into another strategy? How long?
When you re-optimize it?
Yeah, how frequent do you change your strategy?
We don't. We don't. That's a no-no in the industry, or at least my industry. We don't optimize or tweak the systems once they're released. We feel that they're robust and they've been back tested, walk forward testing, and we call out a sample. So the idea is to have the systems recalibrate themselves every morning. In the case of the day trading system, it looks at the first hour and then it calculates, and then it moves on throughout the day. As far as the overnight or the longer term systems, they have very, very little tweaking of anything. We do involve some machine learning algorithms that learn from past price movements and make adjustments, but it's rare, or should I say that's a rare, it's scarce. It doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. It has to recalibrate.
Okay, so you're talking about recalibrate, and then when you start a new strategy, so what I wanted to do was to show Ninja Trader now, I mean, what they kind of foresee as their genetic algorithmic artificial intelligence program. So if you don't mind, stop sharing
Okay,
your
stand
screen.
by.
just up here.
Yeah, I have it here.
It's stop. Let me just, I can stop
I got
here.
it. There it is.
Stop, I got it. Stop sharing the screen. And what I will do is I'll share my screen with us. And I'm going to stop sharing here. Yeah.
Question what you are
Yes.
dealing with this stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead. Ask it.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, what is the difference between ICE, Intercontinental Exchange Bitcoin, and the exchanges that you are trading on? Are you familiar with that?
There's two exchanges in the U.S. that are under the regulation of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. One is the ICE, the Intercontinental Current Commodity Exchange. The other is Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Those two are established exchanges. They're regulated, and the other exchanges where Bitcoin has primarily been traded on, such as Bitfinex, Kraken, Coinbase, Gemini, and Huawei, others are either offshore or they have no regulation per se. So it's dicey to be involved in those transactions. You not only, there's a little more work, you have to download your own wallet, there's security concerns. So there's a litany of a difference between both those who trade Bitcoin on the spot market versus the regulated exchanges. Primarily, it's security and standardization. Bitcoin trades in a standard of one contract on the ICE and trades five contracts or 5 coins on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So we take 5, multiply it times the contract, which we're trading at approximately 58,000 now. So you have a contract that has a notional value of 289,500, and the other one that has a value of approximately 59,000, and one can be controlled for 116,000. The other one can be controlled for about 21,000. So respectively, there are approximately 35 and 41% margin requirements to control those contracts. So everyone who's trading Bitcoin has been trading Bitcoin off exchange for the last 10, 11 years since inception, until 2017, when the Bitcoin was introduced by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange as a regulated product. And shortly, we'll have the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, approving a couple of Bitcoin exchange traded funds. And they've been waiting for that for some time now. They have one trading in Canada that's been approved, but not in the US. So there's really no real legal regulated vehicle outside the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in the Intercontinental Commodity Exchange for trading Bitcoin. So there's a little homework required by investors who want to participate in the crypto space, and that is, doing some on their own due diligence, because the web-based cryptocurrency exchanges have potentially susceptible technical and errors and security concerns that don't happen on well-established and regulated financial hubs such as the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. You also have some tax challenges between crypto gains and losses, and other concerns that you would probably want to see before just delving into blindly, buying a wallet and getting into Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple or Cardano or any of the other cryptocurrencies.
Okay. So we could talk on this for hours, right? So let me just show quickly.
NinjaTrader. I have used this. We have a report on the same here, Sarah. Can't hear you.
I don't have audio. So are you interested in the, you have to let me know then, Avi, that I'm muted. So, yeah, so in this case, here, the social trading and mirroring here, are you interested in that, Jamie?
I'm sorry, I was not hearing you either. I was muted.
Yeah, we were muted here. Okay.
You can see the link I just sent you on the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was familiar with that AI within NinjaTrader as well. I just didn't know you were referring to that part of it.
Yeah, but I was. But we're needing to.
Can he hear you now?
Yes, he can hear me now. I was muted. So one of the things that I wanted.
Let me just explain to Jamie something.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to stop here? Yeah.
This is 20 minutes already.
We're 26.
Okay, so let's.
You want me to stop? Let's just stop it.
You just.
So, anyways, if you're
You
interested,
talk to him enough,
no, but I just wanted to stop right now in case you're interested.
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, he can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, he can.
The most important thing that I wanted to explain to you, Jamie, this is a program code generator. Did you hear me?
Yes, I learned. I'm using it. I didn't know. It was called generator, but I'm using it. I should look at the screenshot I just sent you. Can you see
Okay.
that? Click on that link there.
Hold on.
We are running some recording software in the background that is causing all kinds of turmoil here.
No.
So I didn't know whether you understand it, that it generates snippets of code, C# code that you can take and integrate into the other algorithms that you have so that your algorithm performs much better.
But it's optimization, it's not the AI generated. Okay. So what you were using, Jamie, was the optimization.
Part of it. Okay.
Go down that list, you will also see something that's called AI generate.
Okay.
And the AI generate takes 73 indicators that NinjaTrader has.
But they're like the canned stuff, right?
Yes, they take 73 indicators that NinjaTrader has in its library. And then
Right.
it takes 25 different candlestick patterns.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that. I did see that.
And you can add your own indicators and you can
Right.
add your own candlestick patterns. And what it's trying to do, similar to optimization, it's trying to find all the possible combinations, permutations that's available, and you decide that you want
But you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this on a laptop.
No, but
it'll burn your CPU up.
Right.
Yeah, but we have access to supercomputers.
There you go.
Or in the cloud that you can basically have Amazon's computers.
Or GoDaddy servers, yeah. Okay.
The point that I wanted to drive home to you, it is a major cost reduction for somebody like you that has to pay or incur some programming development cost.
Understood.
You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to emphasize. Let me just go back here and let me just record it. My recording.
And
Yeah.
what you should understand is that this is two separate procedures. So if you have a supercomputer at your disposal and you can run hundreds and hundreds of combinations and then pull what is most relevant to, say, Bitcoin or some other thing, and then integrate it into your strategy.
Understood. Okay, very good.
And this is experimental, but this is also to give you straightening strategies that you would have never thought of. So that was the idea. And if you look, let me share my screen now. Let me share it and let me go back to NinjaTrader. I didn't shut it off. So if you look here, right, if you see above, Jamie, you could see that you could break this down. You say, I want every 20. We did it as the default. We should have broken it down to like 2020 that you could see. And notice here, it's gone through 1,500 after 5,000. So the difference here, you were using strategy and analyzer allows you to back test one company or a group like it'll allow you to do. You can make your own list, or you can say, I want to get.
We call this before this was out there. We have something called the mother. Basically, what it does, it's the same. It takes a whole bunch of well-known indicators and it runs simulations based on a whole bunch of combinations, and it tells you, well, if you use this parameter with this parameter, you get optimized results and so forth. But it's extremely
I mean, let me just tell you, your head is being chopped off.
No, I'm sorry.
Chopped off. Your head is being chopped off, or maybe you wanted your head to be.
Maybe.
Okay, but you can keep your head chopped off, and Avi can keep his chin chopped off, but I just don't know if these are plastic surgery.
No, Sarah, I want my head to show up.
I know, but Jaime was, maybe he wanted his hairline to be chopped off.
That's mean. Okay.
Okay, I'm just making my observation. but that's
got
what
you.
it is.
I got you.
And we'll see. You know, I'll submit this recording, Jamie. It's past due. I don't know if they'll accept it. That first 20 minutes, you know, that we really went over to 26 minutes. We were supposed to stop 15, then possibly 20.
Well, can you edit it? Can you edit some of the parts or no? You have to send it as is.
I can try. I just don't think I don't have time to edit it, Jaime, because it was due last week.
Okay. All right, we'll send it as is. We'll hope for the best.
And I don't even know. And just so you know, it's on a private link. So if it does appear, you know, it won't be there. But it's a good practice for us, Jamie. Anyways, I'll be thought, hey, you know what I mean? And it was on the fly, Jamie. You know that. I mean, it was,
Understood.
Otherwise,
will you have this on YouTube anyway?
I'll have it on YouTube. Yeah, and we're
Okay.
broadcasting now. So
You can send me the link.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. We're still broadcasting on YouTube. So you have this. Okay. Let me unmic.
You can switch computers and manage it from here.
Okay. And be here?
Yeah. Because this, I don't know, the controls here are messed up. I want to explain to you something.
Jamie, Javi's coming over to have a little talk.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
Can you hear me?
I hear you fine, clear.
Do you see the screen that is running right now?
Let me blow it up a little.
Are you sharing your screen with him, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to.
You can make it larger.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
It will take some time, and then we run it minute by minute, and longer periods of time it will take longer. I just wanted to show you some things that we are doing outside of that with the students and how it may help you. We are setting up these websites that you can go to now. This is called valtutor.com, for example. So this website is designed for students that want to provide free volunteer tutoring services.
Okay.
The idea is to train the students to provide you with free volunteer tutoring services to your client and relieve you from a lot of the busy work, because the problem with you is you are so many different, you have to manage your websites, you have to do marketing, you have to do everything.
Wearing too many hats, for sure.
And the single most important thing to improve the performance of your strategy, you don't have time to do, because after you finish with everybody else and the kids and the wife and this and that, you have only 24 hours. So this is one website, and another one is val-tutor.com. Some of the things that we are planning to do that we haven't done yet. This one is plural. These are also vanity numbers, so each one of them is a phone number. So the area code here, for example, what is it, Jamie? Do you understand?
Yeah, it would be area code with the equivalent of V, O, and L.
So what are the numbers of the area code?
Stand by, I'll tell you. It would be 8, 6, 5.
That's right. So anyways, the point, it will be, on it will be a bots, B-O-T, robots. From my accent, I'm not saying B-U-T-T, I mean B-O-T, robots.
Okay.
And WhatsApp. So if you have a client that have problems with Windows or even with NinjaTrader that doesn't run well, our objective is to promote you and your business and let you focus more on performance of your strategies, optimization, deciding which exchange, things that require your knowledge really, rather than to sit there and debug NinjaTrader and everything under the sun that has absolutely nothing to do really with your business, but you have, it's an overhead that you have to deal with.
Very good.
So that's the idea that we are working on, and we are training the students, and we'll have a WhatsApp. So your customer will be able to click on a button there and instantly get somebody on the cell phone to help them deal with the operating system or the strategy or Ninja Trader not working, all kinds of problems that happen all the time. And you waste so much time with it that you don't have to take care of business, basically.
I understand. Thank you. Very good. I wanted to mention something to you. I don't know if you recall what I was looking to do, but let me try to get, can you give me a screenshot so I can show you this?
Sure, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can share yours, okay?
Okay. I'm going to share this document. All right, so we've registered as a commodity trading advisor under the name of Batman, Bitcoin Arbitrage Trading and Management. This is a disclosure document for our new program, and what we're going to be doing is we're putting out a Bitcoin hedging business and a Bitcoin. A Bitcoin trading vehicle first. So for most of the people that own Bitcoin now are net long Bitcoin, and there is no place for them to hedge it. So what we've done is we're one of the first Bitcoin CTAs that's going to concentrate primarily on the Bitcoin futures contracts on the CME and the ICE. And what we're doing is offering those that are net long Bitcoin, and there's many people that have, let's just say, an account and it has $1 million, and Bitcoin has gone from 6,000 to 55,000. And what's the problem? The problem is that your Bitcoin can slide back down to the 30,000, and this paper money all of a sudden evaporates. So we are hedging it. We're taking an opposite position in the futures market to what they have in the cash market, and we'll be able to lock in profits for clients. So it's actually a bona fide hedging vehicle for them. And I think it's the path of least resistance for us to raise some money under management in this fast growing space. So that my attention this year is on the Bitcoin CTA.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. I would like to work with you on it. And
listen, it's a wide open space. You know that there's trading advisors that are managing 500 million, 200 million, 85 million. And you got some managers that are managing $1 billion, but very few are concentrating on Bitcoin, mostly because they don't have Bitcoin algorithms or something that is working in this space, and we do. And what you see is you have other advisors that have maybe like a silver program or something that trades soybeans, a high beta commodity, and then they'll just move the same algorithm and say, okay, we're going to trade Bitcoin with it. And it doesn't really translate over that easy. But we have some very nice, robust Bitcoin algorithms based on the time cycles and the seasonal tendencies that we have seen over the last 11 years, and carried over, and we've got a lot of interest. So I'm focusing on that space, and I've got 4 systems and another 2 day trading systems for that. But we think we can raise 50 million under management very, very quickly, just being one of the first in the Bitcoin future space.
it sounds very interesting. So those are the kind of things that you can really educate somebody to understand those issues.
Well, what you have is you have nobody that's an expert in Bitcoin. You have a lot of 28, 26-year-old bloggers that get on and say Bitcoin's going to the moon. That's it. Bitcoin's going to the moon. And that's to have a registered investment advisor or a commodity trading advisor that is licensed and that has knowledge and has working algorithms now puts us in a different space. So what you have is many millions of people that are net long Bitcoin, but they have no place to ensure their Bitcoin drop if it's coming, and it will come. So we insure our home, we insure our life, we insure our boat, our vacation home, we even insure our portfolio on Wall Street, but there's nobody insuring Bitcoin's drop. And I think
right, it's only a question of time.
Yeah, well, everything just moves up and down in these markets. Nothing goes parabolic straight up. And we're going to have a correction, from 60,000 and change where we're at now. It's make it easily fall to 40,000. And that'll be a big hit for a lot of people. It's akin to what happened in the 80s in the dot-com, I'm sorry, in the 2000 with the dot-com bubbles, when you had corporate officers, somebody like JDS Uniphase, a stock that ran from $18 to $200, only to go right back down to $18. And what happens, you had the corporate treasurers and the corporate officers that were holding restricted stock that they couldn't sell for 2 years, saw their wealth inflate, and you went from 600,000 to $10 million and right back down to 600,000 because they didn't have the wherewithal or the vision to hedge that position, or take it outside, take it to London, get a loan against it, use options, collars, anything to hedge that run up. So unless you can show them that, you're just exposed, and nobody likes being exposed.
So what services exactly would you offer if I were interested to?
So for instance, if you're long $1 million, or if you have $1 million in Bitcoin, then what we would do is we would take an opposite position with approximately 25% or 250,000, and we would trade the futures contract. And then we would create, because the futures are leveraged, then we would create a bona fide hedging vehicle that whatever he lost in the cash market, he would be gaining in the futures market, and vice versa.
So if I was interested in it, what would I acquire the rights to your strategy, or I will run your strategy?
No, this is now going outside the strategy because now we're going to shift. We're different two hats. We're going to take off the developer hat and we're going to put on the CTA hat. So it would be a managed account.
I will invest in the fund. What? Tell me explicitly in detail. So an investor, a trader, a lay person.
Somebody that has Bitcoin would open up a secondary account. Let's say he has Bitcoin at an exchange called Gemini or Kraken or Coinbase. Leave that there. What we would do is we would open an account at TD Ameritrade or another brokerage firm, and we would trade the Bitcoin futures contract against the cash market. So we would be initiating a hedge vehicle for him.
So you're gonna go opposite in what this person's gonna do, or just your hedge fund is, if the market is going up, you're gonna hedge and you're gonna go down?
Well,
do I have to wait a second? And do I have to have Bitcoin already in order to invest with you?
There's two. There's a speculative account, which you wouldn't, and then there would be a hedge account, which you would. You would have to have the underlying Bitcoin. So a hedge account,
Avi, do you understand? Is this true statement? I mean, if I had, let's say, $1 million in Bitcoin that was trading, I would have a hedge fund with you.
You would have your position
when I would make my losses,
I
could basically go to my hedge fund.
Well, you would have technically you'd be going to a hedge fund, which would be us, and then you would open an account with us, and we would hedge that long position with a smaller account. But yes, you would be insured against a major drop in Bitcoin.
And my Bitcoin, my $1 million that I had in Bitcoin, you would be handling that too, or you would not be handling it, or it depends?
Well, we could advise you on the long-term targets, the stop losses, and so forth as a part of the consultation. But the idea is to actually employ this vehicle that would actually insure you against a major drop in Bitcoin, and thereby wiping out.
And what would be as an investor, what would be the downside for me, or the risk for me in doing something like that, investing with you?
Well, there would be no downside. It'd be all upside. The downside is being exposed naked, holding Bitcoin right now. And there's a lot of people that have.
So if Bitcoin went down 50%,
You're out 50%.
I'm out, and let's say Bitcoin did go down 50%, and I had an account with you, how much would I be down?
You wouldn't be down anything. You would be equal.
So you're, okay, and if Bitcoin went up another, let's say 50%, if I was with you, I'd be only making 25%?
No, if it kept going up, then you would be losing with us, and you'd be making in the cash market. So it's a win-win. You know, if it goes down,
So you're always, you're basically you're hedging, you're always going opposite
Correct.
to what Bitcoin is.
Correct.
Do you understand that, Avi?
Yeah, and what is his business model? How would the company make? How would the company
charges
make money?
charges no management fee and charges 20% of net new profits, or in the case of 20% of whatever is hedged for the client. So the client's prepared right now, for instance, if he has $1 million in Bitcoin, the market goes against him, he could lose the whole $1 million. If he has it hedged, then he can only lose the part that's not hedged, and that's not a very big part. So what I'm looking to do is show people that there is a bona fide vehicle in place that doesn't have to be exposure, take the market risk, that we actually can curtail losses in the cash market by having a futures position. Same would be for somebody who's trading trading gold futures as a hedge vehicle to the gold he holds, or a company like Alamo Rent-A-Car or Hertz that burns through hundreds and hundreds of thousands of gallons of gasoline. They buy the cash gasoline, but they hedge it in the futures market with gasoline futures.
So your company would be making money off of
managed accounts.
Management, and it will be 20% of the profits or 20% of
the savings.
20% of receivables, or
I don't want to call them receivables, but there's a baseline or a basis there, and whatever we save the client will be looking at 20%.
But you have to identify it in a way that the client can assess, and somebody can assess how the firm earns money.
Correct. It's a management. Usually in our industry, they charge a management fee and an incentive fee. In the industry, it's standard in what they call a 2x20, 2% management fee of assets under management and 20% performance fee.
So 2x20 is a 2% management fees, you said?
Correct. 2% of 100,000 would be 2,000 plus 20% of the profits that the account generates. Is standard in the industry. Some go as high as 4x25. Some waive the management fee and just charge 30%. You can get creative, but the more money under management, the less you charge in fees.
And that industry is the hedge fund industry? Or
yes.
Which industry is it?
It's the hedge fund industry, either as a registered investment advisor or a commodity trading advisor.
So just to explain all of that for a person to get a feeling that they understand, what do they invest in exactly?
Well, they're investing in a hedging vehicle. It's a hedge against their cash position. So whatever they're going to lose in their existing cash position, they'll make in the futures market, and vice versa. If they're making money,
and if you're hedging, Jamie, if you're hedging, let's say you're hedging and it's going up 20, let's say 50%, I would pay, and I'm hedging with you, I would lose 50% of the hedge.
No, you're not losing. If Bitcoin continues to run from 60,000 to 100,000, you're not losing anything because you own the underlying Bitcoin. You've been in Bitcoin maybe from 20,000, from 15,000, maybe from 6,000. That depends. But as long as it keeps going up, you're okay. Where we kick in is if it goes against you, if it goes down, if it goes from 60,000 down to 20,000, you're out 40,000. We're not going to let that happen. What's going to happen is that the future position kicks in, turbocharged, and it's going to make money as Bitcoin goes down. We are short, and we're going to be making that difference between 60,000 down to 25,000.
A true statement, Jamie. You're shorting Bitcoin.
Sure.
Is that all you? So when I'm buying in my other fund, I'm buying Bitcoin. You're shorting Bitcoin.
Correct.
So you're a short all the time. So when you think Bitcoin,
well, not all the time. We know that we know there are windows versus we've got market timing signals that tells us, okay, Bitcoin is on support and should rally from here. We don't want to get aggressively short at that level. We'll just take the pedal off the gas.
And your fee is 20%.
Correct. Of net new quarterly profits.
What that 20% consists of what? How much I've gained, how much I made, or just straight 20%? What am I giving you 20% of?
20% of what you've made, or what we've hedged that you haven't lost. So let's just say you didn't have the Bitcoin hedge vehicle in place, and you had $1 million, and it went from 60 to 20 or 60 to 30. You'd be losing half your money. And if I kept you from doing that because we have futures position going the opposite way, you're going to pay me handsomely that, okay, you saved me and I'm going to charge you 20% of what I saved you.
Okay, and if I lose with you, how much am I paying?
Nothing.
Well, but I've lost that money, right? But I'm not paying you another 20% of my losses.
Correct. I've always got to go above the high water mark. I always got to do better than the previous quarter in order for collect the fee.
Previous quarter, you have to collect. So if I made 100,000 with you the first quarter, and the next quarter I made 90,000.
No fee.
Quarter I made 80,000 with you.
No fee.
I wouldn't have a fee with you.
Correct. You would have to be superior to 101,000 for us to collect that fee. So it's a high water mark threshold.
And who will be the target audience for this?
The target audience would be primarily large investors that have Bitcoin to the tune of, in excess of 250, $500,000. There's significant amounts out there. There's a lot of people that have, a lot of them by accident, a lot of them didn't think it was going to go this high. I've got clients that, have been in Bitcoin below 3,000. And, didn't think it was going to get this high, and it's close to 60,000, and they've got significant profits, as opposed to other clients who bought it at 50,000, and they don't have that much cushion for the market to go against them. But you have some clients that are way ahead. Those are the ones that are target. They can pay the fee and can open up a secondary account.
So this is
the ones they call the hodlers. Those hodlers would be the target.
These are not qualified, knowledgeable, quote unquote, investors. Will be possible for anybody to invest in.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Now we have another program which is a speculative system. It's a speculative program, and that would be requiring a minimum $200,000 account, and that would be for QEP, qualified eligible participants, big boys or institutions that really want to test the waters in Bitcoin, and they will not do it at these offshore exchanges or these exchanges that don't have really good financials. So, for instance, if you're talking something like American Express, they have a crypto risk management unit now. American Express is not going to open a trading account at Kraken or at Coinbase or at Bitfinex Why? They probably have more money than those exchanges, but they will open an account at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange because it's a regulated product and it's been around since the 1800s. It's the world's largest derivative exchange. So these are the target first wave of institutions that want to and have gotten approval to dip their toe in Bitcoin. And they're only going to do it at the CME. There's no way that these institutions are going to go anywhere else other than the CME.
So what is your challenge in this? First of
Let
all,
me just ask you a question about what you said. So if imagine to yourself that you have some student that is the son of a sheikh, he gave him $20 million and told him go start a company. And this kid is a 19-year-old that doesn't know his head from his tail. And we had the class with a chairman of a trade station, and these kids were asking him questions. I want to invest, and my father gave me that much money. And he showed us a trade station at the time. They had a new software that was doing portfolio management. I forgot what they called it. They just acquired the company.
Maestro.
That's right. And he was demonstrating it and explaining it, and it really appealed to the students. So they asked him, is it for somebody like myself? Even though I have the money, I don't know what I'm doing. And one thing I don't want to do is to lose the $20 million that my father gave me. So for somebody like that, do you have any way that they can deploy some of their portfolio in one of your enterprises?
Absolutely. And that's a very good question, because what you have is you have a learning curve that is steep in this industry. And it starts with, there's a lot of platforms out there, and especially on the other side of the world, they have the MT4, MT5 platform. It's a Russian platform. There's a lot of market makers who will easily take your money, but as far as getting it back, it becomes problematic. And so they give you all these incentives to keep trading there, and they know that eventually a speculator will lose his money. Very similar to a casino. I mean, you can walk into a casino at 8 o'clock at night with $2,000 in your pocket, and at 10 o'clock you might have $3,000 in your pocket. At 11 o'clock you might have $4,000 in your pocket. If you stay there long enough, by 2 o'clock in the morning you'll owe the casino $1,000. And it's an opportunity to lose money. They know that most of the games are stacked in the favor of the casino. So same with these market makers. These market makers, you might get lucky, but really the model is built around, hey, out of 100 people that trade on a speculative account, 80% of them lose. Only 20% make money. So let's it's kind of like the same thing with auto insurance. We're going to take in the premiums, we're going to take the premiums, and we're going to pay out once in a while if somebody has a car accident, but we're making all the money. And that's kind of where you have all these market makers and snakes, fraudsters out there that are targeting, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar, where guys are not really in tune with these markets. They have a lot of disposable income and they like the fast moves, and so they get caught up and they lose money, and they lose it very, very quickly. Well, we basically are going to park money with regulated brokers that have good financials, and they're not going to be flushed out of business. That's important. Paramount to any investment is of safety of principle. You make sure that your capital is in a safe harbor. Whether you make money or lose money, that's secondary. Most important is, okay, we got a fair shake, and the brokerage firm was legitimate. There was no hanky panky. There's nobody is stealing the money. The money was lost through the market or was gained through the market. And that is, due diligence, and that's homework. And some of these young kids don't have that. They'll open an account wherever the website looks nice and flashy, because that's what they're targeted. So you have a lot of these operators that are, putting ads on Instagram, putting ads on Twitter, putting ads on Facebook, and getting target audiences. And it looks like a legitimate firm. It's got a name. It's got some Forex name behind it. It sounds like a big company, but really it's just a bunch of unscrupulous operators preying on both young and old.
How can a lay person can distinguish you from them? You have a flashy website and you have a lot of charts and other things that you're talking about, and it all goes over their head.
Well, sure. Well, we had what we call regulation. We're regulated, registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and National Association of Futures Association. We also had our systems top rated by Futures Truth magazine. They're the leading authority that rates and ranks commercially available software. I don't think that a scammer makes it all the way up to all those channels. You could put together a system and create some hypothetical or Photoshop equity curve, but if it hasn't been verified or hasn't been tested by a company like Futures Truth, then you have nothing. So I think that that adds to the credibility. And if it's too good, it's too good to be true. I don't profess to be a sales guy. I never liked salespersons. I don't like to be sold, and I don't like selling to people. And when I get inquiries on my website or over the phone, I spell it out, I show them, I give them references, and then I let them use the software without paying for some time. I don't think anyone that in my industry does that. They don't, they want to get the money first, and then I'll send you the software. I'm able to say, I can turn you on because I can turn them on TradeStation and turn them off in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, or a month. I can give them a demo and let them, test drive it before. And if I didn't have the feeling, or if I didn't have the comfort, I wouldn't do that. I'm looking for a place to hide. If my software doesn't work, there's somebody out with him, he's going to complain, and I don't need that. There's now in today's society, you have blogs, you have reporting, you have places that you can call and say, hey, Jamie sent me, sold me a piece of software, it doesn't work. First thing he's going to do is going to write a blog, and boom, it's going to get out there in cyberspace, and people are going to refer to that and say, hey, you got a whole bunch of complaints. We don't have anything. We're clean on that front. And so, it works both ways. And I think that having the transparency that we do, that we can show people, and now through this specific media of Zoom, where I can have somebody test drive the software live during the day, spend an hour or 45 minutes with them, show them the day trading system as they're actually day trading, and actually performance reports. They can see all that. I want to take it one step further, put the software in their hands on Ninja, on multi-charts, and on TradeStation.
Multi-chart is not free. Let's do it on Ninja, and let's prepare a list of the pointers that you made, and make a presentation in our webinar. You can attend our classes. Sarah sends you the link so you can see what's going on.
On all these three platforms, there is a code that I have, which is basically tied to the machine ID number. TradeStation, multi-charts, and even NinjaTrader, they all come with this unique machine identification number. I take that number and I code that with a date, time bomb, as well as another DLL that I throw in there. But so if he wants a 10-day demo, and fine. And if he doesn't pay by the day 11th, it expires and it goes away, and he no longer gets to see it on the machine.
Let me explain to you that we are dealing, you don't understand this. We're dealing with an institution here. We're dealing with labs that have hundreds of terminals, and we, as instructors, don't have control. There's an IT that is doing all the installations. We are teaching the people, the students, about the difference between running a workstation and things like an individual investor is doing, and running it on the cloud on a remote machine. So a lot of our students, for example, don't even have a PC. but it doesn't matter because they log in remotely into the library or the virtual machines that they set up in the library. The IT set it up.
Okay.
And it's when you the difference between this and what you're talking about. This is individual investors that are dealing with it. We are dealing with an IT, and this IT has to install it on hundreds of machines. And NinjaTrader gives them a special number and a special license that they install it on one image, then fire it to hundreds of images in different locations in the library and in the dorms. And the students, a lot of them are logging in remotely with the remote access into the server and running it on a virtual machine. So it is a lot of complexities that
understood, but that could be ironed out. I mean, if we have access to one of those servers or one of those machines and one of those machine numbers strictly for purposes of testing or viewing our systems, that can be coded as well.
But you cannot do it, Jamie, because you don't understand that we have classes with 50 or 100 students hitting simultaneously the machine. So when you have 100 people hitting the machine, even if it is a powerful server, you cannot focus on one machine. We have hundreds of machines. When they log in remotely, it says at the beginning when nobody is there, it says 100 or 200 machines available. And then as soon as each one of them gets a machine, it drives it down. And after 50 or 100 of them, all the machines are taken. So it's a completely different scalability that you're talking about onesies and twosies, and I'm talking about hundreds at a time.
Okay, well then we've got a solution. I'm working on with another developer, our own standalone equivalent of a trade station that is going to be able to service, like you said, hundreds, where you log on and we give you access for X amount of time on that platform, and you decide if you want or you don't want to keep going.
Yeah, there's also an issue about security and safety.
Cloud-based.
When they're logging into these machines, they're under the protective umbrella of the university.
True.
So when you are running the Zoom, it says University of Miami.
Yes.
This is the University of
Listen,
Miami.
the worst fear for a developer like myself is having our wares hacked by an outside source. And I've had it almost breached here a couple of times. We definitely shored up a lot of security, but here's an example. You have the well-known hackers, they're reverse engineers, corporate espionage, but along that line, they're mostly based in China, Vietnam, or Russia. I have curtailed any sales outside to those countries just because someone can get into the software if they really want to and reverse engineering and decompile that into a text file and create. I have a friend, Keith Fishin, who had a very successful system called Aberration. He sold it for $3,500, $4,500, and now you can find it for $150 on these websites because he was just very loose with who got it. Before I send my stuff out, I know who it is. I've got around that they hide behind these emails and they don't want to take any phone calls and they ask all these questions. No, I mean, you're going to have to talk to me. I'm going to have your email or a phone number and your trade station or your multi-charts ID number before you get anything. And so I'm able to filter out a lot of the.
Maybe it's not for you. I just wanted to understand that when they're running it, everybody that is running it is using a University of Miami. You are in the University of Miami network.
Okay.
Nobody.
That's good. That's very good.
And you have the university, not myself, has hundreds of security experts that are dealing with it, because a lot of these students have their credit card information and all kinds of, when they pay, they have an account there and they can expose their credit card and the personal information. The security is completely different. This is not open. This is not a free-for-all environment.
Okay. Well, what's comforting, knowing something like that, even better.
It's completely different than what you're accustomed to. And you have a duo, any students that comes in, there's duo authentication and all kinds of nightmares that really bother us because it is such a pain to deal with it all the time.
Listen, unfortunately, that's the way the society has become, and they're for every look at all the.
Not for you, but I just want you to understand that is totally different than when you install it the way that you do on a few computers. The Ninja Trader, they have a special enterprise license agreement that they have with the university, and they provided to the university and a special version of the software that is installed by IT, and it is installed on one server, an imaging server, and from that server it goes to several hundred machines. And when the students log remotely, they have to do authentication, and they have to use their ID and all kinds of information to secure it. So it's a totally different, and it is even with all of that, we had to spend a year with IT to help them get it to work because it crashed all the time at the beginning because they're not accustomed to it. So
and this is only with traits with Ninja Trader. That's the product the University of Miami uses.
It's a special license that Ninja Trader gives university.
Yeah.
To have a professor like us that is familiar and can provide technical support to IT because IT is totally clueless about it. They deal with payroll, they deal with Blackboard and all kinds of software, but they never deal with trading software, and nobody else in the whole university can provide them help. And we have to spend the whole year testing it until we got it to work a year later. I mean, this is ridiculous for us, and we don't get paid any extra to help the IT. But we thought that the students were so interested in learning it, and there is such a huge educational opportunity that we spend the time, and only this semester we got it to work for the first time. And the reason we got it to work is because of the pandemic, because until now, they didn't want to do it because of the security issues and they couldn't get it to work properly. But now
they had time.
Now nobody can go physically to the library and to the dorms, to the labs because they're closed. So they had to learn to do it remotely, and then we helped them, and finally they got it to work. So it's a totally different scenario than what you imagine to yourself on the Wild West that you are acting in.
Okay, clear.
And if you are interested, we will invite you as a guest speaker. See, I'll send you some links and you can join. You don't feel that you have to prepare anything. Just click on the link and you'll be inside the class and you can observe it and see that it is quite different. And when they do access the computers, you won't be able to access it because you have to be authenticated from within the network. You'll be coming as a guest speaker and you can participate and you can present whatever you want, but you don't have the same clearance as the instructors and the students.
Very good. Okay. I would like to.
I just wanted to explain it to you. Anyways, it's time to wrap it up and to wish you
okay. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom. And think about it like this. The idea is to crack this market. If you can crack this market and enable professors from accounting, finance, computing, computer science, engineering, to use it as a supplement for their class, and have all these students, especially business major students that are going to work for hedge companies, especially if they're in Miami or a certain area like that, and they will be familiar with you. And then when they go to their company, would they want to learn something new and something that is riskier? The answer is no. So I think that is a worthwhile effort.
Absolutely.
Especially since they are willing to work for free to get experience.
As interns. Very good. Yeah. We discussed this last year.
At the end of the semester, you have to contact the instructor and tell him what do you think their grade would be. And then the instructor can put in the grade for an internship into the system, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. He may agree with you or disagree with you, but the student is happy because he gets academic credit. You get to
Hands-on
know
experience.
if they are good, you can hire them, and if they are bad, you can forget about them.
You know,
And
we've
it
been
also
doing
gives-
that. We've been doing that here, and I think I banged out approximately 14 interns over the last 3 years, and a couple have gone on to set up their own commodity trading advisory and done well.
So that's it. This is why I'm trying to work with you so much, because you have experience, but we want to expand it worldwide. And now with the pandemic, you don't have to restrict yourself to any geographical area.
And I want you to think about putting the national commodity exam, the Series 3, on your curriculum. Think you
Yeah,
can?
we'd like to do courses, and we'll start with continuing professional education, and then expand it to academic credit courses and other things. This is what these people were trying to do. The ones are being sued now.
No, but it's almost like the Florida Real Estate Commission, the sales exam for real estate brokers. You could do this in 3 months and have a professional license. I think it would be nice that the University of Miami Continuing Education would be able to offer a Series 3 exam, I guess, outline.
And they are doing it. They have special testing labs that now, because of the corona, are closed, but testing labs, not only for the university, that they are renting them out to private organizations like the CPA societies or any other organizations like that have to meet certain criteria for nursing, for example, to certify nurses. So they have 24 surveillance on each workstation, and these people are under surveillance with a camera and two-way communication and so on, because sometimes.
Yeah, they send somebody else in.
So I want you to know this is public information, that they leaked that some in the nursing certificate.
Had somebody else take the exam for them.
That's right, and it was the case, and the organization threatened to pull away the license from the university unless they put a special lab together, which they were forced to do, and it was very expensive, but they couldn't afford to lose the authority to give them the certificate.
Accreditation.
Anyways.
Okay.
It's good talking to you as usual.
Likewise.
Shabbat
Sharon, I'll
shalom.
be well. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos, okay? Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye now. Let me just save it. Let me just save my picture, please. You don't do anything with the picture. It's for you to control you to do something, man. A nightmare from man. Recording, all this is man. Anyways, and nobody would understand my accent, anyways. You see, look at the translation, you cannot get what I'm saying at all. So it is 5:47 p.m. Right mouse click, copy. Press the save button. Review additional details. Press the review additional details button to see how many screens are recorded. 12 screenshots, and start a new recording as we are folding the operation for today. Start a new recording. Add a comment. Paste the file name in the comment. Paste the file name in the chat. Extend my notes file. Edit. Paste. This is version B. File. Save. Now we're going to go to the YouTube. View the stream on YouTube. Paste the file name there. Notice that the file name includes my video 21. This is year 2021. 03 is for the month of March. 19 is the day of the month, which is today. Dash 17:07:08 is the time of the day. 17 is 5 p.m. East Coast time. 07, 7 minutes, and 08 is 8 minutes, and MPEG is a video file format. And the topic was a trading algos clockwork group 2 by 22% plus 20% of the profit hedge funds revenue structure or business model. Now I want to make sure that I get the URL, the YouTube URL, copy it to the memory, edit as a comment to the pisser, the problem step recorder, now edit as a comment to my notepad, file save. Now we are going to wrap up the session here. So I turn it to Dr. ARush Channel to complete the session. Or would you like me to complete the session?
No, you go finish your other one.
So before we complete it, let me also wrap up my recording. It has been an hour of recording on Loom, which we are going to stop and playback, and then stop and playback the MSN recording. We'll start with which one? Loom or MSN recorder, share. Do Loom first. Okay, so we're going to stop Loom. And I would like to prepare some thing to paste into Loom, some notes, including the YouTube. So edit, copy to the buffer. We'll stop Loom. Set Loom to double speed. Add a comment. Press the play button.
It generates snippets of code. C# code that you
Paste notes. Now I got the sharing hyperlink, which we are going to add to my notes. Edit it, edit, paste into my notepad, file, save in my notepad. Let's see if we can put it into the discussion. View the stream on YouTube. Paste it on the YouTube stream. Good. Now let's see if we can play it back. One thing that we can do now is find this Loom presentation that I lost. Loom, where are you? Here's room. Okay, let's see if we can shift and enter for a new line.
Wait, stop.
Shift and enter for a new line. Doesn't let me shift and enter. Okay. Can you move away from here, please? Thank you.
You have to move away.
Just move away because I need the space. Edit, copy. Control V. Enter. Okay, so that is good. And I want to edit also in the comments.
You can take and integrate into the other algorithms that you have so that your algorithm performs much better.
It's optimization, it's not the AI channel. Okay, so what you were using, Jamie, was the optimization. If you go down that list, you will also see something that's called AI generate. And the AI generate takes 73 indicators that NinjaTrader has.
They're looking like canned stuff, right?
Yes, it takes 73 indicators that NinjaTrader has in its library. And then it takes 25 different candlestick patterns.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that. I did see that.
And you can add your own indicators, and you can add your own candlestick patterns. And what it's trying to do, similar to optimization, is trying to find all the possible combinations, determinations that's available, and you decide that you want
So you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this on a laptop.
no, but
Run the CPU
yeah,
up.
right.
Yeah, but we have access to supercomputers that can do it.
Or in the cloud that you can basically do have Amazon's computers do the calculations.
The point that I wanted to drive home to you is a major cost reduction for somebody like you that has to pay or incur some programming development costs.
You know, so that's what I wanted to emphasize. Let me switch back here. Yeah.
What you should understand is that this is two separate procedures. So if you have a supercomputer at your disposal, you can run hundreds and hundreds of combinations and then pull what is most relevant to, say, Bitcoin or some other thing, and then integrate it into your strategy.
Right, and this is experimental, but this is also to give you trading strategy you would have never thought of. So that was the idea. And if you look, let me share my screen now. Let me share it, and let me go back to NinjaTrader. Let me shut it off. So if you look here, right, if you see above, Jamie, you can see that you could break this down. You say, I want every 20. We did it as the default. We should have broken it down to like 2020 that you can see, and notice here, it's gone through 1,500 after 5,000. So the difference here, you were using strategy analyzer allows you to back test one company or a group of like allow you to make your own list, or you can say I want to get all my jobs.
Before this was out, we have to call another. Basically, what it does is the same. It takes a whole bunch of well-known indicators, and it runs simulations based on a whole bunch of combinations. It tells you, well, if you use this parameter,
Right.
optimize results, and so forth. But it's extremely.
Honey, you may want to have to check. Honey, no, wait, let me just tell you, your head is being chopped off. Obviously, chin is being chopped off. Your head is being chopped off. Or maybe you wanted your head to be chopped off.
Stop this. Now we want to stop MSN recorder and see if that still works. So I'm going to minimize this. We'll open up MSN recorder. Where's MSN recorder? Here it is. Here. Okay, here it is. We'll stop the recording. Don't upload it now, and play back and record another video. Yeah, sounds very interesting. I would like to work with you on it and assist you. Now we can see that it works. So we're going to edit as a comment with a video file name, Fisher. Then stop the recording. Save the recording. That will be subscript C with a time of 5:58. Then insert the new video file name, Control V, playback OK. It sounds very interesting. So those are the kind of things that you can really educate somebody to understand those issues, because the
Shut it down. You done?
I want to save it in the log folder under the document. Right. It's only a question. It's only a question of time. Copy to the buffer. Insert it as the first character. Right mouse click and paste. Backslash. Then change it from zip to .tx for text. Copy, right mouse click, copy to the buffer, click save. Now paste it in the file, edit paste. Expand the file name. A few returns to make some space at the top of the file save again. Okay, and now we can put it also in the pop-up, the sticky notes, the green sticky notes, at the very top of the file. So it will be floating around. Go to the top of the file. So what services exactly would you offer if I were interested to? Expand the green pop-up, incorporate the entire file name. Place it at the top of the screen. So if I was interested in it, what would I acquire the rights to your strategy, or I would run your strategy? Or so I will invest, I will be in. What else is running now? I want to terminate. So we will invest, I will invest in the fund. What? Tell me explicitly in detail. So an investor, a trader.